In English, there is a famous saying about democracy. Democracy is the worst form of government, except for all those other forms that have been tried from time to time. You will get many advantages in democracy, but not as much as you will get in communism, fascism, laissez-faire, capitalism. It is said that British Prime Minister Churchill used this quote for the first time, but there is a little debate on that. No debate that democracy is more fragile than other forms of government. Democracy gives people power, but it is very easy to manipulate or break it. Democracy is based on check and balance between legislative, executive, judiciary, so that no dictator is born out of the system and people can benefit. In this, media as fourth pillar of democracy works, asks questions from the government, keeps it accountable. In some countries, questions are asked only from the opposite. That is a different thing. But a person can destroy this whole system with a wrong intention. 4 years ago, on 6th of January, America came to know how easily democracy can be shaken. If we talk about Asia, Indira Gandhi's emergency, Pakistan's ongoing military coup, and Sheikh Hasina's single-party rule, which had been going on for 15 years in Bangladesh. But at the time when democracy is being strangled all over the world, strong leaders, dictators, autocrats are emerging. South Korea has set a good example that if opposition and people are alert, dictators can never succeed. This behavior can be called anti-national in some countries. But people have to do it time to time to remind government of its hypocrisy. Last night, something similar happened in South Korea. Listen carefully, take notes. It happened that South Korea's president, Yoon Suk-yeol, came last night to announce martial law. Whenever these people come at night, they bring bad news. Editor, right? President Yoon Suk-yeol became the president in South Korea in 2022. He represented the People Power Party. He won by a narrow margin of 0.7% against his opponent Lee Jae-myung. Since the 1987 elections, this was the closest election. After that, his approval ratings have fallen. He has been in controversies, scandals. His wife has also been a cause of his downfall. His wife had manipulated the stock market, had bought a luxury Dior bag. Just think, buying a bag is a big deal. In other countries, people buy a bank. No big deal. Now, when the general elections took place, after that, Yeol was left as a lame duck president. He had no power, because the parliament was in his hands. He was not able to pass his own law. And the law that was passed in the parliament, he was trying to veto it. In the meantime, he thought, martial law was already in place in South Korea. We can take advantage of it. For the first time, after 1987, after the establishment of democracy and presidential elections, martial law was introduced. Martial law is a temporary military rule which enables authorities to take immediate action in a time of emergency. Civil authorities are not able to act. Generally, this can happen during a war or when a major disaster occurs. So what happens in this is that your civil rights are suspended and military rule is enforced. Military rules are temporary but can be indefinite. Those who violate the law can be arrested, no questions, put in jail. This is martial law. After the announcement of this martial law, the opposition Democratic Party leader said that the declaration of martial law is unconstitutional. He appealed to the public and lawmakers to come to the National Assembly at night. Now comes the importance of the Constitution. The martial law can be declared by the President. It is an executive decision. But the Constitution also states, see how good it is, that if the majority members of Parliament demand, martial law will be removed. And you can arrest people during martial law but not law members and members of Parliament. President Yeol planned to use military force in front of Parliament. He did not want people to enter Parliament. So how will voting happen? Masterstroke. But Yeol underestimated democracy and people's passion, because they gathered in front of Parliament. They were protesting against Yeol and the military. Opposition members were forced to go inside Parliament, and people helped them on shoulders to cross the boundary wall so that they could enter the Parliament and vote. Just imagine, in the middle of the night, police, armed military personnel, petrol car, helicopter in the air. The situation could have been worse at any time, but no law enforcement agency thought of doing anything wrong. 190 lawmakers out of 300 possible members voted to remove martial law at night. Even after that, they remained there for 1 to 2 hours. even after the police and military personnel left the parliament, in case if the president thinks of disbanding the parliament. So no chance was taken. The military said, "We will not remove martial law until the president's order." Finally, in the morning, President Yoon realized that the game is over. After a few hours of martial law, it was reversed. And within a few hours, the opposition also proposed to impeach President Yoon. Yoon will have to go in the next few days. And not just because of the opposition, but because of the people. The anger of the people of the country against him, whose image was already maligned due to corruption allegations. Now the use of martial law, after that, no if but you please get out of here. Now let's talk about the trade union. With 1 million members, they have announced a strike. That Yoon will have to resign. I am talking about South Korea's largest labor union with 1 million members. They have said that the president has to go for this crime of insurrection. President has betrayed the country. Yoon Suk-yeol has chosen an irrational, anti-democratic method. He has put martial law to extend his political life. People will not forgive him. The labor union is also powerful enough to make such a statement. Secretary General of South Korea has also said that military is legally responsible. Military has to answer for the physical damage and illegal actions. Why they obeyed this order and if they did anything wrong. That is why defense personnel, police and other related parties are prohibited in parliament. The ministers have also said that all the CCTV footage during these events will be investigated. If only the opposition leaders had reached, they could have easily been pushed back by the military. But seeing crowds of people, this did not happen. Neither did the people of South Korea get scared, nor did they stay at home, nor did they think that Yoon must have thought of something, nor did they think that we will see when the election comes. People thought it was right to take action at that time. They saved the country, saved democracy, saved the constitution. President Yoon was a bit naive. If he knew a bit more politics, he would not have put up martial law. He would bring industrialists by his side. He would have taken money from them and bought the media first. He would have turned the opposition leaders to his side. After that, he would have created a war drama with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. He would have declared emergency, and during that emergency, he would have put all the big opposition leaders in jail. Should have appointed their favorite judges in the same case, and not grant bail. Next time it may happen that there is someone else in place of President Yoon, and more cunning, like we have seen in other democracies. It happens, and it is very possible. Court and media cannot save democracy permanently. That is why I say that it is the opposition's job, and finally it is yours and mine. But if your mind is stuck in us versus them, if you are stuck 500 years back, then we will never be able to ask the question of the real crisis in front of the country. And neither will we be able to save democracy while we have time. If democracy is lost once, then before it returns, the country and the citizens have to struggle a lot. So remember, whatever happened in South Korea, it can happen anywhere. And it is our duty and oppositions to save it.